just go around the circle real quick and introduce ourselves so everybody knows. Gozer.
I'm PK.
I'm Jordan or Jeff Sitz.
I'm Moose.
I'm Lucas.
Trent.
And Trent is our honorable and noble DM for this campaign.
Woo! We're going to do a little bit of exposition here to start you off. All right. This story begins on the coast of Takoth in the last surviving kingdom. Kavalik's army's warships quickly approach the bloodied beaches as the gods of the winds and oceans are on their side. Standing on the bows of their ship, the King's Guard stood proudly, ready for their final conquest. Lightning crashed, illuminating their polished armor that has never seen a scratch. Standing on the side of the bloodied beaches were the last willing fighters of Takoth. A once peaceful trade city was now engulfed in flames and destructions. Standing ahead of the fight stood an orcish woman by the name of Ingrid in pieced armor, her great axe in hand. This is the last chance to back away, and believe me when I say this, I do not blame you for not wishing to partake. But I would soon rather be beheaded than be shackled and turned to slave. The city erupts in cheers, but are quickly silenced as the warships finally reach the coastline. Get to your stations. Tonight is the night the King's Guard falls. As you look down, the fighters split up into the groups and expand the length of the city. The central ship's leader makes its way to the cliff beneath Ingrid. On behalf of Kavalik's army, I am here to take the surviving city members back to our great country of Maleviant. And one of you actually recognized this voice because it's been haunting your dreams. And I believe that is Barlow. You recognize this as Kavalik's general, Thon. So Ingrid responds, you and Kavalik's armies have raped, murdered, and pillaged this entire country to extinction. We would sooner rather die than bow before your tyrant king. Thon responds with, I was hoping you would say that. Thon smirked as a barrage of arrows fired from the men behind him filled Ingrid's body. Now I need everybody to make a dex save.
Okay, what kind of save is this?
Dex save.
Oh, God.
Okay, so Bozer is super new to D&D, so that means roll a d20 with the dex modifier, correct?
Correct.
Well, PK's not new, but PK rolled this. Nat 1. Hooray. First roll of the night!
That's a great start to a great D&D campaign.
All right, so as Ingrid falls to her knees, she says, Father, I will be with you soon. And Ingrid smiles as she pulls a lever, triggering a round of explosions to detonate, collapsing the cliff onto Thon and his men.
Oh, Ingrid for the win!
So, at this point, you guys have free reign to essentially go about your battle plan on what you are going to do to hold off Kavalik's army.
Well, before we get into all fighting, can we just real quick introduce what our characters are so that people understand who we are and what we're doing? Well, my character is Balor, the Dragonborn. I am a Dragonborn barbarian.
I don't know why you don't know me already. I'm Zodak. I'm a druid. I'm a tiefling, as you can clearly see by looking at me.
Tucker O'Dwit is the epitome of a halfling. He's no taller than 4 feet tall, dark curly hair, and is never seen without a vest over his button-up shirt and breeches rolled up past the ankle. And then the most notable little descriptor about him is the blue tattoo on his right arm.
I am Zoc. I am a warforged from a very, very far-off kingdom that most of you have probably never heard of.
I will be playing Bosch. He is a Wood Elf variant, and he is a Blood Hunter.
And clearly, I am Trent. You can refer to me as God. My ego is big, but not that big. So as you can see, they are making advancements towards you. So just so we can give Bosch some movement and element of surprise, Bosch is with Kavalik's army.
Sorry, guys.
Dun,
Like,
dun,
with
dun. Yeah, the more you guys talk, the closer the army is.
Well, as long as these people are coming after us, I'm going to take the big man on the right.
So those of you that beat 10, you actually see Kavlik's army has made their way behind you and are making their way in.
Oh, good. So, glad I didn't get to write my message. My mom's never going to know that she still owes me money, but that's totally fine.
And while this is going on, Thon has made his way to Bozer, and he has grabbed the back of Barlow's neck and says, I remember you.
I'll remember you too.
I have half a mind to snap your neck right now.
I'm no detective, guys, but I think they got beef.
Take him to the brig. All right, so up to this point, we now have Valor captured. Tucker has been captured and is now being escorted to one of the war vessels.
I'm going to willingly just start walking towards the boats.
I'll follow.
I mean, you're one of Kavalik's soldiers, so that's fine.
Exactly.
I follow.
You
I
want me to roll
follow
anything
the
for that?
intimidating looking one.
So at this point, I'm assuming everybody has more or less given themselves up.
Yeah, look, I give up. Let's just go.
I'm
You
being,
and
me
the
being a
last
warforce
few
and nobody really
survivors.
understanding how I work. I just sort of like walk willingly, shambling along.
Before
give up anyway.
the four of you are actually upon a vessel, Thon makes you look back as he stomps on Egret's head, crushing her skull beneath his feet. As you are walking back towards the war vessels, the once last great kingdom of Takath is in ruins. Smoke has filled the air. You see blood rolling down the stream, covering the beaches. The last place you were able to call home is now ruined.
I'm just in the brig, roaring and making a fuss.
Can we knock him out?
I've just got an unnecessarily like eerie calm about me since I have a face that you can read expressions on. I'm just like sitting in silence with the red light of my eye.
You spend several days on the ship on the voyage back to Malivian. Some days were smooth, but most of them made your stomachs churn as you were tossed and turned and thrown about the ship in terrible weather. As the ship's docked, the heroes are dragged by their chains out of the ship and onto the molded, wet dock. The sheer number of people in the port was deafening as you struggle to gain your surroundings. Your flesh burns as it's dragged across the ground, tearing up and peeling apart your skin. Random items are thrown at you as your bodies as the crowd opens, discussing your defiance and what Kavlik's family is going to do to you. You make your way through the crowd, and then you are thrown into a dungeon where you look around and see dozens of other prisoners locked up. Bosch is still in his Kavlik's army's clothing. Foreign looks at you, so you finally decided to join us.
I
You
tried to-
finally saw the error in Kavlik's ways.
It was a long play that I thought I could work out in our favor. Clearly, it hasn't.
And Wizoga actually chimes up at this point and says, so this must be it then. The last of the resistance has fallen.
The resistance may have fallen, but the spark's still there.
Dozens of armed guards enter the chamber and begin to drag everyone out to what is known as the 7th District Square, where 8 gallows awaits. At this point, only one of you is capable to see in the shadows a very quick and swift movement. Being from Malivian, Bosch, you recognize the rebellion's rogues are hiding amongst the shadows. And at the same time, Oth makes his way to the gallows where all of the legends are now lined up next to each other, nooses around their necks, and all of them look defeated. But if you look a little bit harder, each and every one of them have a smirk on their face. Oth pulls the lever for the ground beneath them to push them towards their deaths, and all of the ropes snap. Oth, recognizing something is wrong, snaps his fingers and vanishes. And at this time, chaos erupts.
I like chaos.
Oglahal moves with such grace, it was memorizing to watch her blade slash through the guards with ease. To put it simply, it was poetic to watch her take the lives of the King's Guard with such finesse, but she wasn't at full strength. The element of surprise quickly dissipates as she is overrun by the enemy. As she fell to her knees, with her final breath, she calls out, Dezem Za Mai Udawa Gog. And at that point, you now see Ogahal lying on the ground, bloodied and dead.
Nah.
Thorn jumps from her gallows with a snap of her fingers. The skies darken as lightning strikes with deadly precision. Running headlong into the fray, Thorn clapped her hands together and the earth splintered beneath, collapsing beneath the guard. But before they had a chance to fall to their freshly dug grave, a cylinder of molten fire shoots into the heavens. An arrow whips through the air and pierces through her chest, throwing her to her back, and with her final breath she utters, Elgin Ulfals Valuk. Wizoga, with the biggest grin on his face, smiling from ear to ear, climbs on top of the gallows and begins dancing with his fingers. Wizoga always found great comfort in certain death, and he was well aware it was his time to go. With the blood that poured from his abdomen, Wizoga uses the blood on his fingers to activate the runes engraved on his forearm. Mumbling a spell under his breath, he raised his arms over the masses and began to reanimate the dead before their bodies even hit the ground. But he dared not reanimate Olga and Thorn. He respected them too much. It was time for them to be at peace. His gallows was set aflame, and Wizoga smiled and danced as his final army fought against the King's Guard. With his last breath, he said, Uzembrog, Giza, Haz, Ruzemdarg, Zorg. And last but not least, Albaham jumps from the gallows and belly flops on the King's Guard. Dadzo falls Kong before spears are impaled into his body. And in front of you, you just watch the legendary leaders die. But, as you know, there are two individuals behind you that you don't know, you cannot see. They are drenched in the shadows. They are beckoning for you to follow them.
Could I use thaumaturgy to like throw open like doors and windows behind us to kind of?
Absolutely.
Can I just grab Tucker? Can I just like grab him by the scruff of his
Yes,
and
but
put it on
that is-
my back?
How much do you weigh, Tucker?
Oh, only like 40 pounds.
And
Max.
what is your strength currently? Like, what is the actual strength number right now, Poser?
19.
Oh, yeah, with great. You picked Tucker up, plant him on your shoulders like a toddler, and you were sprinting through the alleyway.
I would like to point out that as he picks me up, my feet are still going in midair.
So the chaos, as you can see, is starting to calm down in this area. You have made great time following the rogues and Bosch through the back alleys, getting away from the madness of the streets.
I want to like try to lead us like duck around a corner one way, and I'm going to go to grab Ballard, but actually grab Tucker and like try to pull them to turn a certain way.
So yeah, Tucker, you are ripped off of his shoulders. The rogues that were leading you to safety have continued their trek, and Bosch has completely ripped you off track and is leading you in an entirely separate direction. What are you possibly doing? We are leading you out of here. Where are you going?
I'm going away.
I blame the elf.
Being
Follow me, and we will get you to safety. He's wearing the King's Guard's uniform. Why are you following this man?
I mean, I'm not following anyone. He's just carrying me at this point.
Now, you can follow me to the safe house, or you can follow the King's Guard guy. Let's see which absent makes more sense. And the dark-robed figure goes back up the sewer drain and begins walking down the alleyway.
I'm gonna grab Bosch by the neck and just slam him into the wall. Listen,
just threw
so
you
far
off.
you've been with the enemy, and now you're with us. So you're on real thin ice as far as I'm concerned. Are you done with us, or I'm gonna leave you here in two pieces?
I'm just gonna be up against the wall. Like, I was gonna take the rear, but all right, if you want to be mean about this.
So at this point, you are brought in front of a tab, the Rusty Hook. And as you see that, in front of the door is literally a Rusty Hook swinging. And coming from the back stairs, you see an elderly dragonborn fumble up the stairs. Now where did I put my glasses? So the elderly dragonborn, as you affectionately realize his name is Gint, ushers you into the back room of the tavern. The half-elf sheepishly follows, finishing his pint and walking into what is actually a round table. rectangular table. So as you walk in, what you see an elderly dragonborn. To his left, you see a half orc. To his left, you see the half elf take his place. Across from him, you see Bagoo. And then next to him, you see the barkeep, who is also a dragonborn, step next to him. What were you trying to accomplish?
Escape.
We were literally leading you to escape. And
I
Git
could
chimes
not
up,
see you.
Calm, Finn. It's okay. Anyways, soldier, are you with us?
This is not a moment for hesitation, friend.
Who all is from?
Wait.
Is everybody native to?
You. I recognize you. Can it be? Cliffhanger, you don't find out until next.
All right, so next Thursday we'll be back doing this again. We take all advantage. Hopefully, we'll have a better setup.
Hopefully, we'll actually start at 7:30.
Yes,
that would be nice. Guaranteeingly, we've got that figured out. But until next time, which there will be a next time. I'm PK.
I'm Bozer.
I'm Moose.
I'm here.
And I'm Jeff Sitz.
Trent.
And you guys just keep
keep geeking out.
Geeking out.
We'll get better at that too.
No, it's gonna be bad every time. Let's do it.